You've heard the hype. For the second year in a row, the most popular sports video game on the planet, College Football 26, will be releasing to the public. And last year, they completely screwed Nebraska with their player ratings. So in today's video, we're going to reverse this. And we're going to predict every single Husker and their rating in this video game. What's Dylan Raiola at? Is he at 90, 95, 99? We will see. What about some of our incoming transfers? Dane Key, Williams Neri, Desama Cola. What about some freshmen? We'll go over this with in-depth graphics, and I'll tell you why this is important for Nebraska on the actual football field. So really quick, this is a fun video. Hit that like button if you're fired up. And also, if you're a diehard Nebraska fan, it would make my day. It takes 2 seconds. Please hit that subscribe button for daily Husker content. Thank you so much. But without further ado, let's just get into it. Talking about the most popular video game on the planet, sporting video game, I should say, College Football 26. Now, last year we did this video predicting every single Husker and their rating in that video game, and I was pretty accurate to say the least, but it's safe to say that EA disrespected the Huskers. A lot of players who should have been pretty high were very, very low. So I'm going to give it a new go this year. And I should preface by saying this, all of my rankings that you're about to see are what I think EA is going to do, not my personal opinion. So, for example, if I have Jacory Barney at a 75 overall, it's not because I think Jacory is only 75. It's because EA might disrespect him. And probably, you'll just have to see. You'll just have to see my predictions. So let's just get things started with the quarterback room, what I think EA is going to do to us. Dylan Raiola will be upgraded to an 85 overall, so still pretty low compared to what some people are expecting from him. He probably might be bumped up to a 90 by the end of the year, but listen, Dylan Raiola, he was only, I think, an 80 overall last year, has had a lot of progress at the offseason with the deep ball, actually with the speed, so 85 still a very good ranking for Dylan. You got Marcus Davila at a 73 overall. That's perfectly fine for Marcos. Again, he's going to be probably a very, very good backup in the video game and also in real life. You got Jalyn Gramstad. I don't think EA is going to give him a lot of respect given the fact that he was an NAIA quarterback. Obviously, very, very small, not very tall, not great arm strength. From a video game perspective, probably is not going to be given the best hand. And then you got TJ Lateef at a 68. You got Luke Longvold at a 65. You got Bodie Suckup at a 62. I think this is pretty much going to be dead on with my predictions there. Now, let's go to the running back room, what you can expect. This is kind of similar to my opinions in real life. I think they're going to give Emmett Johnson an 84 overall. Kind of an upgrade from what we saw last year. He was around an 81 marker, so they're going to give him a little bit of respect, but the rest of this running back room, guys, it's rough, and it's rough in real life. I mean, you got Quinn Ives at a 72. If I were to make a ranking, it's probably pretty near there. And again, you'll have to wait until my deep dive at the end of the summer. If you know, you know. That's going to be a 1-hour video going over my actual rankings for all these players. So with in-depth graphics and everything, that's going to be a crazy video. Make sure to watch that one from last year to get a kind of a sneak peek of what you're going to see this year. But Quinn Ives, 72 overall. Jamarion Parker, 71. He might be bumped up over the course of the season, and then the rest of the Nebraska running backs. I think these are fair rankings for now, just because of the lack of production. And obviously, Emmett Johnson at 84. Some people might think he should be higher. That's fine, but the stats don't indicate he should be any higher. He's not an 1,000-yard rusher, at least not yet. He wasn't even an 800-yard rusher. So 84 is going to be just fine for him as we speak. Then, this is where it gets interesting. The wide receiver room for Nebraska, which is arguably the best in the Big Ten, or maybe not the best in the Big Ten, but definitely top 5. You got Dane Key cracking a 90 overall, one of the highest players on this team, as you're about to see, transfer from Kentucky. EAs are going to do him they're going to do him some good justice with him transferring in from the SEC. He also had a lot of good rankings last year. You got Jacory Barney, who was one of the most disrespected players on this Nebraska roster last year. I think he was only like a 77 in last year's game, which is crazy to me. With how good he was, they're going to bump him up pretty much 10 spots up to an 86 overall. You got Nyziah Hunter at an 85. You got Janiran at 77. The rest of this room, they're not going to be too respectful to some of our freshmen. Demitrius Bell, I'm very high on just because he doesn't have any stats. They're not going to be too bullish on the rest of this room, but just know the top end talent is going to be up there in the rankings. Then the tight ends. This is something that I'm kind of concerned about in real life, and it kind of shows you on these rankings. You got Carter Nelson at 79. We don't even know if he's going to play this year, but he's probably going to be a 79 overall. He might even crack 80. You got Luke Lindenmeyer. They're going to give him some respect at 77. He had some good stats. Heinrich Haarberg's interesting. I think he was a 72 overall last year at quarterback. So if he was a 72 last year at quarterback, what are they going to put him at tight end? I'm just going to choose they're going to be bullish on him and put him at 78. They usually give seniors some decent rankings. Mac Markway also at a 76. So that is my prediction for the tight ends. Nothing crazy, nothing over the 80s. It's probably going to be that way in real life too. So just so you know. Then over to the offensive line. Hey, there's some gold. That's not bad, right? That's not bad. You got Elijah Pritchett at 80, Rocker Spindler at 83, Justin Evans at 83, Henry Lateef at 79, and then Teddy Prohaska at 80 overall. I think this is pretty much going to be dead on. And this is actually kind of how I feel in real life too. Like Elijah Pritchett, 80 overall. He probably has the potential to be a 90 overall. He has the potential to be a 95 overall, but will he live up to that potential? Who knows? You got Rocco Spindler in there who, like, Rocco Spindler's good. I just think some Nebraska fans maybe are too high on him. Like, he's a good player, but he was one of the weak links on Notre Dame's offensive line last year. Like, they weren't really that mad to see him go. Not to say he's not good. Like, he's probably the best offensive lineman we have, but he's not elite. He's not a first-round pick. So he's still a pretty good ranking. Justin Evans, who I'm very bullish on. I think EA is going to be bullish on him too. You got Henry Lateef in there. You got Teddy Prohaska in there. Pretty solid rankings there around there last year as well. And then the depth, nothing too shocking there. Turner Corcoran, Gunnar Gatula, Grant Brick. So that is what you can expect. Then let's go to the defensive line here. You got Van Poppel at 77. I don't think they're going to do him much justice after he redshirted last year. Elijah Judy at 76. Williams Nwaneri is going to be actually our highest rated defensive lineman. Now, is Williams Nwaneri our best defensive lineman in real life? No. No, he isn't, but you know what EA wants to do. They want to hype up the 5 stars. And I will say this, Williams Nwaneri is the most talented defensive lineman on this roster. Maybe not named Keon Davis. Those two probably are the most two in whatever order, but we'll see. 80 overall for Williams Nwaneri. Once again, just like Elijah Pritchett, he has the potential to be a 90, 95 overall if he lives up to everything, all the gifts that he has. Then you got Cameron Lenhart at 77. I shouldn't have put Rayleigh Van Poppel on there twice. You got Keon Davis at 74. You got Jalen Jordan at 74. Sula Fodu, K. Petruzak. So not too bad. Then let's go to the linebackers here real quick. Let's see what they have in store. Then you got Tasama Cole. This is actually a pretty good linebacker room, and I think they're going to do us a lot of justice. And I feel this exact way in real life as well, is that, I think overall the linebacker room is one of the better in the Big Ten, and nobody's really talking about it. You got Deshaun McCall, who's great off the edge. You got Marcus Watson-Trent, I think they're going to put him as one of the highest players on this team with his production last year. Vincent Shavers is going to be bumped up big time. You got Buda Wright coming back. Willis McGahee, of course, I think should be a little bit higher, but that's my prediction for him. Dawson Merritt's going to be given a good rating. So overall, I think these are pretty solid ratings for Nebraska on this linebacker core. I would honestly, when I do my deep dive in a month's time, I'll definitely probably bump these guys up a little even more than this, but the linebacker core looking good for Nebraska. Definitely looking good. Then DBs, what you can expect from our rankings here. Sear Wright, 86 overall. Seems about right for him. That's a pretty good ranking there. Andrew Marshall just on the outside looking in at 79. You got Malcolm Hartzog right at 80. That's fine. Marcus Buford, I think, is going to be 84. And then Deshaun Singleton also at an 84. I think Deshaun Singleton probably should be a little bit higher. I think he probably should be an 80, 87, 88. You guys already know how I feel about Deshaun Singleton. But again, for them, it's just all about production over everything, and also the stars coming out of high school. And Deshaun Singleton, while he has decent production, it's not great enough to be an 88. So that is what it is. Then as for the depth, you got Amari Sanders in there. You got Mario Buford. You got Jeremiah Charles. That seems pretty accurate to real life as well. And then last but not least, we'll wrap things up with the special teams. You got John Hull at a 73. This is not great rankings, to be honest with you. And that's kind of how I feel as well, is that John Hull, still a shaky kicker in my opinion. Archie Wilson, 66, just not much, never played college football before. Hopefully he can transition pretty quickly. We'll see. It's risky. It's a high risk, high reward type of thing. And they got Kevin Gallick at 79 at that long snapper spot. Hopefully he can hold it down and be solid, because that's another big question mark. So overall, that's my predictions for the ratings in this new video game for Nebraska this year, coming out in about a month. Again, this is important for the actual program. I think some of you guys might think this is just silly, like, rankings, but depending on how good we are in this video game, I know this sounds crazy, it changes people's perception about us in real life. And if EA releases, the game and they have us, all our players listed very high, and they have us at a 90 overall team-wise as, a top 15 team, people just generally consider our team to be better. And I know that sounds crazy to some of you, but a lot of the younger fan base, they gravitate toward these rankings. So I don't know, man. The players care too. So that's my predictions for this. Obviously, what I'm actually thinking for these rankings will be released for my deep dive, which is going to be a heck of a video. I'm excited for that already, which is going to be released late July. late July. So overall, again, let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think our rankings are going to be in this video game? Are you excited to play this video game if you're a gamer? Let me know in the comment section. Hey, if you made this far in the video, hit that like button and subscribe. As always, folks, go Matt Rule, and I'll see you in the next one.